All right. So, in a world where almost anything can be generated, polished, copied, optimized, and multiplied, the question is no longer simply, can you create anything? The deeper question is, can what you create be traced back to truth? Because we are entering into an age of where authenticity is being tested. And in this test, the rarest thing will not be talent. It will not be visibility. It will not be speed. It will not even be how polished the product is. The rarest thing will be origin or originality. See, the rarest thing will be the person who can stand in their work, their words, their decisions, their boundaries, and their service, and be able to say that this came through me. This was original. And they will be able to say that it didn't come from pressure. It didn't come from imitation, not from being forced by the algorithm to create it, not from the need to be seen, but from alignment, from essence, from truth. I want to welcome you all in. Look, I'm Truth J Blue, and this is the Blustrophecy, where I share my philosophy on divine alignment, authentic living, and resonating with your true essence. See, the truth will make you free. And these observations and expressions, they are designed with the intent of liberating you from your illusions and guiding you into transformation and awakening you to your human divinity. See, it is my belief that you are a powerful, creative, spiritual being capable of doing anything that you can imagine and believe. It is my life's work to empower you to experience your divine power, potential, and purpose. Now, today we are going to explore this authenticity test that is emerging in this age of generation, optimization, and worse, imitation. We will discuss why tools are not the enemy and why origin matters more than polishing it, and why your life must carry a traceable line from the inner truth to outer expression, because sacred identity has providence. And the call now is simply to reclaim your original signal, to create from source, to let your life become logos in motion. So let's dive into today's lesson. So, the authenticity test, reclaiming your original signal. The world is entering an authenticity test, and I do not say that lightly. We are living in a time where almost anything can be generated, almost everything can be polished, almost anything can be optimized, packaged, multiplied, scheduled, and automated for distribution. See, we can take a thought and create a post in just seconds. A rough idea can become a brand in minutes. A sentence can become an entire campaign in moments. A voice can be cloned, can be duplicated, and even replicated to sound like someone else. You could take your face and enhance it. Any message can be formatted to sound wise, to sound spiritual, and to appear aligned. But here is the real question. Is this generation, is it going to have to, what we're going to have to answer here is, where did it come from? What was the source? We're not just asking, what does it look like? Not just how well it performs online, not just how many people engage with it. Make sure y'all are engaging with this, though, please. But we're not just listening to how good the sound is, but we must ask, where did it come from? Where did we find the need to create it? Did it come from pressure? Did it come from imitation? Did it come from the algorithm? Did it come from the fear of being forgotten or being unseen? Did it come from a need to be seen? Did it come from spiritual language that was placed in us? Did it come from unhealed wounds, unhealed traumas? Or did it come from a real inner alignment with truth? See, that is the test, because tools are not the enemy. AI is not the enemy. Systems are not the enemy. Templates, they're not the enemy. Structure is definitely not the enemy. The problem is not that we have access to tools. The problem is when tools begin to replace the originality. The problem is when systems begin to substitute for the soul. The problem is when optimization begins to outrun obedience. The problem is when polish becomes more important than purity, because when everything can be generated, the rare becomes originality. The rare thing becomes source. The rare thing becomes the person who can say that this came through me. Not perfectly, not loudly, not with the approval of everybody watching, but cleanly. See, there is a difference between something that is impressive and something that is true. There is a difference between something that performs well and something that carries weight. There is a difference between content and witness. See, there's a very big difference between branding and embodiment. There's also a difference between repeating some spiritual language, something that you heard, and becoming a living expression of what you claim to believe. And that is where many people, many of us, me included, are being tested right now, because the world has become very good at appearance, because we know how to make things look aligned, look good. We can edit it and make it look perfect. We know how to make things sound profound. We know how to borrow language from healing, faith, consciousness, psychology, purpose. We can take it from leadership, and we can even get it from people who teach transformation online and make it sound transformative. But sacred identity has provenance. There should be a traceable line from what is within you to what becomes visible through you. That is logos in motion. Inner order becoming outer expression. Truth becoming language. Conviction becoming movement. Alignment becoming work. Purpose becoming service. This is not performance. This is not borrowed conviction. This is not a mask of wisdom. This is not spiritual vocabulary wrapped around unexamined trauma, scars, or pressure. This is the sacred responsibility of becoming original again. And original does not mean that nobody has ever said something similar. Original does not mean louder. Original does not mean rebelliousness for the sake of rebellion. Original does not mean chasing novelty. Original means it came through you clearly, cleanly, and originally. It means that you were not trying to become a copy of someone else's calling. It means that you were not manufacturing a message to keep up with the pace of the world. It means you were not building from panic. It means that you were not creating from comparison. It means that you were not performing certainty while ignoring the inner work of integration. Original, it means that there is a living connection between your inner world and your outer expression. Your post should have a source. Your decision should have a source. Your boundaries should have a source. Your service should have a source. Your yes, it should have a source. Your no, it should have a source. See, your work needs to have a source. Your life has source, and it should resemble having a source. And when you are aligned with source, people can feel it. They may not understand it, but they can feel it. They can feel when something is clean and original. They can feel when something is borrowed. They can feel when something is being pushed. They can feel when something is being performed. And they can feel when the person is speaking from source. And when the person teaching has actually walked through the fire of what it is that they are saying. That is why authenticity cannot be faked forever. It can be imitated for a season. It can be packaged for a moment. It can gain attention. It can even get an applause. But it cannot carry the same authority as embodiment, because authority is not value. Authority is not polish. Authority is not a platform. It is alignment with what is true. And this is why authenticity test is not about content. It is about identity. Who are you becoming when nobody is watching you? Who are you when the algorithm is not promoting you? Who are you when you are not being validated by the masses? Who are you when the room is quiet and all the viewers have left? Who are you when obedience costs more than performance? Who are you when the thing that is true within you is not yet popular outside of you? That is where the original signal is reclaimed, not in the noise, not in urgency, not in comparison, not in imitation, but in stillness, in honesty, in surrender, in the disciplined return to what is real. Because your original signal is not something you invent. It is something you uncover. It is the part of you that was present before the world trained you to perform. It is the part of you that knows what is true before fear starts negotiating. It is the part of you that carries design, purpose, and conviction, and even more, a sacred responsibility. It is the part of you that remembers, I am not here to be a duplicate. I am here to be a vessel of truth, a vessel of service, a vessel of alignment, a vessel of divine order expressed through human action. See, this human life that we're living, it's about experience and expression. That's why the world, it doesn't need more noise. There's too much noise here as it is. What we need, what the world needs, is not for us to try to imitate one another. It's not us trying to be someone else. Reminds me of the quote I heard the other day, and he said that we're all born an original, but only a few of us die that way. See, the world, it does not need more people trying to sound like the people they admire. The world needs clearer, cleaner, original vessels. People who have done enough inner work to stop confusing pressure with purpose. People who have enough discipline to create from alignment instead of anxiety. People who have enough humility to pause before they perform. People who have enough courage to say, "This is not mine to carry," or "This is mine and I will carry it faithfully." See, that is the shift. This is the invitation. Not to reject the tools. Use the tools, please use the tools. Use the systems. Use the structure. Use the technology. But do not let the tool become your source. Do not let the template become your truth. Do not let the algorithm become your altar. Do not let visibility become your God. Return to source. Return to alignment. Return to the clean place and return to the original signal. See, today we can shift 5%, and the simplest way to do that is to create or choose one thing from source. Choose one post from source. Choose one boundary. Choose one honest sentence, one decision, one act of service, one piece of work, one conversation, one correction, one moment where you refuse to perform and choose to align. It does not have to be dramatic. It does not have to impress anyone. It just has to be true, because this is how the signal gets reclaimed. Not all at once, not through a grand announcement, not through a perfect reinvention of self, but through small, faithful acts of alignment, again and again and again. Consistency over time. And until your life carries a traceable line from inner truth to the outer expression. Until your work carries the weight of embodiment. Until your words are no longer decorations around an idea, but evidence of a life being ordered from within. See, that is the authenticity test. And the question is not simply, can you create anything? The question is, can what you create be traced back to your truth? Can your life be traced back to alignment? Can your work be traced back to obedience? Can your voice be traced back to essence? Can your visible expression be traced back to the sacred order within? That is the call. Reclaim your original signal. Create from the source. Let inner order become outer expression. Remember, you are a powerful, creative, spiritual being capable of doing anything that you can imagine and believe. So believe that you are an original and pass the authenticity test. And I'll see y'all on the next video.
There's a fire in your spirit running oceans deep. Every scar, every trial, every season of pain was awakening the power flowing through your veins. This is bigger than survival, bigger than the system's title. You were born with light inside you. You were built for something vital. Stand tall when the darkness talking loud. Divine frequency breaking through the clouds. Every setback.